Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, my question, and I agree with everything you said. And we continue to look at what we've got to cut, and what we've got to cut, and what we've got to cut. And your first option's never going to happen, so I wish you quit putting it up there. But can this community of 12,000 people afford to complete and separate recreational facilities? I mean, are we finally at a point where we can't continue to run two separate recreational facilities?
Quite honestly, sir, I think that's a decision that this commission has to make. That's not an administrative decision. Again, I think that the core services that are offered here are invaluable, especially the youth programs. But again, that's a decision. Now we could combine.
I'm not saying eliminate any of the programs.
I understand. I was going to say we can combine some of those programs, bus, say children from one center to the other, and combine some of those programs. Absolutely. I don't know that it would result in any dollar savings. It may or may not. The rec department is not overstaffed. Again, most of them are part-time people. And I will tell you, we will continue to tweak and tweak and tweak and, you know, cut where we can. Just because we have a budget, I don't have the philosophy that we have to spend everything that's in our budget. As we go along, we're going to look for opportunities to realize efficiencies and economies of scale. But again, you know, your question, that's something that the five of you need to decide. I think it's a legitimate question.
Well, one thing that we're going to have to decide, and you're going to have to bring to us, is a budget that you're going to get at least 3 votes.
And I hope that we can go back and y'all can give me some feedback on exactly what I need to do and what you don't like and where I need to move. I mean, this is a very loose presentation.
No, I understand it's loose. I see that. But you know, you're talking about on the second thing, kicking the $250,000 of beach renourishment that we know we're going to have to next year, and then it's going to cost us $500,000 to come up with.
Yes, sir. And you're absolutely correct. I mean, option one really is something a little different. Option one starts to build out toward the future and look past this first year. Now, we can, as you have said several times, we can continue to kick that can down the road.
I mean, the next commission would have to come up with, between the two things of the Humane Society and that, $1 million next year. Does anyone truly believe that the housing industry is going to pop up, our revenues are going to go storming down, and we're going to leave the next commission with $1 million more to come up with? That's kicking it down the road.
That is kicking it down the road.
The reason we got in this mess is because a lot of these issues have been kicked down the road, and we just happen to be the 5 bodies up here trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Well, I'd like you to justify that.
I can justify it by the
There's
reserve
a balance
fund.
every year. We balance our budget every year. You start over again.
Here, look at this, folks. You want to talk about where we're down there? Here, right here, starting in 2008, this is what we took in, this is what we spent. 1, 2, 3. I don't have 11 on there, it's the same way. We did balance the budget by taking it from reserves. We don't have any more reserves left. That's where we are right now. We don't have any reserves. As a matter of fact, we have to put money in there just to get to 20%.
And as
The can ain't been kicked, can't kick it down in the road anymore. The can's flat. It ain't going nowhere. So, in effect, that's why we are in the position we are in, because we've been using the reserves for the last 4 years to balance the budget, because we've been paying out more than we've been taking in. As simple as that.
We've had a 25% reserve that we've been maintaining for the last how many years?
Add 50. Here it is right here. Here's the reserve. It looks like an Olympic ski jump down here. It's going downhill so fast.
Is this commission, Charlie, or so what you're saying is option one for you is good for you?
That's the choice. If you're so concerned about $1 billion, then obviously option one is where we need to go. If you're concerned about the other, that's where we need to go. He's got $250,000 right there for beach renourishment. But we're going to have to make some tough decisions on the money. We're going to have to do a lot of things. So, I mean, that's an option. It's not $1 million. That's option 2. We got a choice of either one of them. One is to put $250,000 in this year. 2 is that we defer it, but that's up to us what we want to do. It's not 500,000.
I'm just suggesting this needs 4 votes. I'm asking, are you in favor of that particular option 1?
Before you answer that, let me say something.
If you would.
I would strongly, and this is very difficult for me to say, I would strongly suggest that this commission adopt option number 1. We can't continue to obligate funds for various projects, which are good projects, and then not fund them. Beach renourishment, Commissioner Pointer is absolutely right. You know, it's $500,000 if we don't do something with it this year.
And that's if the county contributes. If they don't, it's $1 million.
Yes, it is. And then there's $250,000 for the Humane Society, which I met with yesterday, and they're very unhappy that their funds are not going to be available. But you know what? We don't have the money. We have to start looking at our budget in a way that it covers more than 1 year. You know, we want our beaches renourished. We want to build humane animal shelters. We want to restore some of our buildings downtown. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, someone has to pay for it. And